Hello guys, let's study November current affairs first topic interstate border disputes in India. See, actually from the month of August, the tensions between the border areas of Meghalaya and Assam is quite increasing and many disputes arise between the people. So both the governments decided to solve the dispute for at least 6 major disputed areas by the end of December. So, as per Assam Reorganization Act of 1969, Meghalaya was created as an autonomous state within Assam. But in 1972, Meghalaya achieved full statehood. Meghalaya has international border dispute with Bangladesh. Assam have international border dispute with Bhutan and Bangladesh. So, within India, Meghalaya and Assam have border disputes with 12 areas, and both the governments came forward to solve the border disputes in 6 areas. Okay, the total border disputes in between Assam and Meghalaya is in 12 areas, and the politicians, both the governments came forward to solve in 6 areas by December ending. So those areas are Kamrup, which is metropolitan, and other is Kamrup. So here first is metropolitan Kamrup and second is Kamrup. Next is Golpara, Dubri, South Salmara, Mankachar, Morigaon, West Karbi, Anglong, Kachar, Dima Hasao. These are some of the dispute areas between Assam and Meghalaya. So a special regional committee was formed by both states to solve the dispute. Okay, so this is about the news and its background, and let's get into Indian administrative divisions and the interstates border disputes. So India was formed out of 550 princely states and British territories. Later, Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, united India, and this Hyderabad, Jammu and Kashmir, Junagadh are some of the princely states which don't want to join with India. So at last, Hyderabad was joined by police action under Operation Polo. Jammu and Kashmir joined India by instrument of accession. Junagadh joined India as 99.95 population voted to join India. And next is Jodhpur. It was joined by signing instrument of accession, and Travancore, though refused to join in the beginning, joined India later on. So this is about the historical joining of all 550 princely states and British territories. So later on, as per States Reorganization Committee SRC of 1953, which was chaired by Fazal Ali, recommended the formation of 14 states and 6 union territories. See, this is the previous question. Fazal Ali, as per Fazal Ali recommendation, he recommended 14 states and 6 union territories. Okay, but the number extended for administrative convenience to 28 states and 8 union territories. And in that process, Assam, which included 4 states, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, got separated into 5 states. Is it clear, guys? Before, Assam has Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram included in it, but it got separated into 5 states, that is Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland and Mizoram. Now what that means? Assam has border disputes with all these areas. And next is Nagaland was separated from Assam in the year 1963, and Arunachal Pradesh became independent state in 1987. Meghalaya became independent in 1972, Mizoram in 1987. These are the international disputes between Assam and other 4 states. Is that clear, guys? Okay, now we'll learn about the active disputes and the inactive disputes or the dormant disputes. So active disputes are Haryana, Himachal Pradesh over Parwano region near Panchkula. Next is Maharashtra Karnataka region over Belgaum district with large Marathi speaking population. It was a part of Bombay Presidency before coming under Karnataka in 1956. And next is Himachal Pradesh and Ladakh over Sachu lying along Leh Manali highway. These are the active dispute areas, and the inactive disputes, that is dormant areas, are Odisha, West Bengal had issues in the past along with mainland boundaries and over Kanika Sands Island in Bay of Bengal. And next, Haryana Punjab over Chandigarh, because now Haryana Punjab has Chandigarh as its capital, and this Chandigarh is a union territory. It is controlled by central government. And next is Karnataka Kerala over Kasaragod, part of Kerala with many Kannada speaking people. And next is Gujarat Rajasthan over Mangad Hills. So these are the inactive disputes. Okay, now let us learn about the reasons for interstate border disputes. The first reason is British colonial policy was completely based on the commercial interests or administrative convenience. So it was frequently changing borders based on their own interest. So these actions later on led to the interstate border disputes. So this is one of the reason that was a loophole in the history of India. So next is, they did not implement the recommendations of the commissions which were set up to solve the interstate disputes. For example, Sundaram Committee report on Assam and Nagaland issue and Y.V. Chandrachud Committee report on Assam and Meghalaya issues are not taken into consideration. So this is one of the reason. And third is, the disputes are not solved due to constitutional failure. See, under Article 131, Supreme Court can deal with disputes between two states under original jurisdiction and try to solve the case by involving mediators. But that is of no use. Under Article 263, Supreme Court wanted to solve the issue by appointing the interstate council, but both the states did not agree. So that also became one of the failure of constitution. So these are some of the aspects of the failure of constitution to solve this interstate disputes. So next is, there are no frequent meetings of zonal councils, especially in northeastern zonal councils, which consists of 8 states, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura and Sikkim. These are the 8 states which come under northeastern zonal councils, and there are no regular meetings between these zonal councils. So even though these zonal councils, which are similar to interstate councils, they could not solve the problem of interstate disputes. So even the central government have limitations, and if state doesn't cooperate with the central government, then it can't do anything. So those are the limitations of union government interventions. And next is, due to politicizing the issue. See, only for the vote bank, politicians create disputes like by following the divide and rule policy. So these are some of the aspects of political opportunism. Next is due to economic competition between states for resources or land, or due to complexities of terrain or geographical features like forests, rivers, etc., where they can't mark the boundaries properly. So these are some of the other reasons regarding this failure of interstate disputes solving. And next is consequences of interstate disputes, that is social. Violence between state occurs. Recently Assam and Mizoram disputes turned into violent clash. From last 4 months, there is a continuous fight between the people and police and the other state people. So Over 5 police personnel were died in the violent crash which has occurred recently between Assam and Mizoram disputed area. So there is a threat to social harmony in the regions due to damage of social fabric of society. Those are the social consequences. And the economic, in terms of economical consequences, there is lack of growth and development in disputed areas. Yes, both the states doesn't concentrate in that areas. And next is unwanted cost escalations for people and business due to additional security deployment at disputed areas. So these are about economical consequences. And next, coming to political consequences, domino effect or chain reaction to other disputed borders or other interstate disputes such as river water, migration of people, etc., due to trust deficit between states. So these are some of the political consequences. And next is right of secessionist tendencies and groups which pose a threat to internal security. For instance, it can lead to confluence of groups with enemies of India, including hostile neighbors. Now the way forward is to set up state committee to solve border disputes. And next is reducing the security personnel in disputed areas and using technology surveillance in the disputed areas. And the third is creating no man's land along the border areas which share 50% of disputes. So this solve 50% of the disputes. And fourth is conducting regular zonal council meetings and interstate council meetings. And the fifth is the time limit should be set up to solve the interstate border disputes, and the committee or mediators should be involved, monitor under the court. Sixth is solving the disputes with the efforts of cooperative federalism or joint administration. And the last is by not politicizing the issue.